Hey everybody! What's going on, guys? As you can see in front of me here, I got the Holzfforma G660 made by Farmertec. I was gonna do a unboxing video when I first got this saw. I got this saw last week, about middle of the week, and I got it set up. I decided not to do the unboxing video because I feel like there's already unboxing videos out there, and I feel like the unboxing videos are pretty boring, pretty basic. I'll run down real quick when you get it out of the box. So the handle is not on the saw. I bought this saw with no bar, no chain. I bought just the power head. I think if you bought a combination package, the way you're going to get it is in a box with the guide bar and the chain separate. So you're going to have to take off the two nuts, slide your chain on and your bar. You're going to see inside of there, right where to put it. It's, you know, it's a no-brainer. I had to put nothing else on this saw besides the handle and my guide bar I already have, and a chain. Everything else was assembled. All I did was mix some gas. I did pull the air filter off to check the air filter and make sure there wasn't anything weird in there. I don't think it's necessary, but I did. Inside of here, there is a couple things that you do have to put on. I hadn't seen anybody make a note of when they did their unboxing. Real quick, inside of this cover, in the packaging that you get, there's two plastic shims, if you will. One's going to go about here. You're going to see the little indentation. You're going to push it inside of that cover. It kind of doesn't clip in, but it pushes into that recessed groove into this cover. So you've got one right about here on the inside of this cover. That's going to go, you know, right where the chain rides. And then you've got a second one down below, again, about where the chain rides. You're not going to screw them up. They go in one way. Just follow the imprint in the casting, and you're going to be just fine. So I'm pretty excited about this saw, guys. I had a 62cc Chinese brand. We're not going to get into it. It was not a Farmertec brand. And silly me thought it would run this guide bar. I'm going to get more into that. So basically that Chinese saw did not work out. Let me just say a little bit about myself real quick. I'm a mechanic. I have been for 14 years. I do not do logging. I don't use a chainsaw a lot. I have used a chainsaw in the past to do various, like a do-it-yourselfer kind of guy would do. Various things around the house, around the yard. I don't even cut firewood. The reason I bought this saw was because I acquired from my in-laws a maple tree. They had a maple tree cut down in their yard. And I thought it'd be a cool, so I like to do some woodworking off and on. I've dabbled into some epoxy type stuff. I just find it enjoyable. I like to do it. And I've really taken an interest in slabs. And I've actually purchased some slabs from local companies around where I am. They're super expensive, but they're really nice. I mean, they're all kiln dried. The first slab I bought wasn't kiln dried. It was just from some guy like me just doing it on the side, paying somebody to mill the logs, blah, blah, blah. So whatever. So I paid big money for a slab way back when. I made a shelf out. It was really cool. I really liked the idea of it. So what I'm going to do, where I'm getting at with this is the maple tree was pretty large. They had it cut down, and I had the good idea of bringing them home. I have a video on YouTube of that on my channel. I actually used a flatbed to get it home from my place of employment, the automotive shop. The biggest actual trunk part at the very bottom by the stump, I don't know what you call it, is roughly 30, I would say in the 38-inch range, okay? I have not cut that section of log yet. That is about 8 to 9 feet-ish long. It's probably more on the 9-ish side. The other two parts of that tree I've already milled, okay? And that's where I'm going with this video, guys. That's why I didn't want to do an unboxing video and setting up. What I feel like people would benefit from is actually knowing, or actually getting some feedback from a guy that's actually used the saw, had some experience with it. This isn't long term, guys. I got it last week. I used it 2 days this weekend. So I wanted to give you my feedback, and I've used it, and I used this a lot this weekend, and I feel like now's a good time to try to do like a quick sort of unboxing and then my first impressions of using this saw. So I cut up 2 sections of logs, guys. I actually slabbed them with this saw. And that was my whole intentions with the saw. I bought a big saw. This is the 92cc, 7 horsepower, I believe it said the spec was on it. I bought the big saw because I knew I was gonna need it for slabbing. The 62cc, obviously, I'm like, it's kind of cheap, I'll try it, and it didn't work. So here I am. I did slab those 2 sections. They were pretty long. I would say they were 8 to 10 feet, both of them. I would say the widest part of that tree that I cut so far was 28 inches around, roughly. And I'll tell you, so far I've cut 13 slabs, okay? 13 slabs, and I did a few different sizes, okay? I've got a milling attachment for this chainsaw that I bought off Amazon. You might even be able to see the score marks here from where it was mounted. So I've been using the milling attachment. It works really well. I wish I bought something of higher quality for the milling attachment. I also have a YouTube video on that. I should do an update video to it because I'm disappointed in that quality of the brand I bought. But it is working, and I can make do with it. So whatever. So the first thing I'm sure you guys can notice is, holy shit, look at the size of that bar. So what I got here, guys, this bar I bought separate. I'm pretty sure I bought it off Amazon. I also bought this chain off Amazon. This is a 42-inch guide bar. I bought it off Amazon. I forget how much it was. I think it was right around $100. I bought the 42-inch because I want to make sure that this guide bar, obviously for slabbing, it's got to go through the log. This ripping chain, I bought a ripping chain for it. It wasn't an Oregon brand. I totally forgot the brand name. This is a 3/8 .063 ripping chain, semi-chisel was a description. This has 135 drive links on it. Trust me, I know. I just got done sharpening this baby. Takes a minute. If I did this a lot, I'd probably get into an electric or a power sharpener. Some of them look kind of shitty, but electric one handheld device if I do. But that's a video for another time. Maybe decision for another time. Which you guys are probably all wondering, and another reason why I want to do this video. So like I said, I cut 13 slabs with this combination with this saw. I have burned 2 gallons of gas in this chainsaw. I've gone through a half a gallon of bar and chain oil. I really feel like I was kind of surprised about the bar and chain oil using only a half a gallon. I have this setting for the oiler. I have it turned all the way up because I've got a 42-inch guide bar on it, and I wanted to make sure it was getting enough oil. I still think it's questionable. I really should have an auxiliary oil bottle set up, and I'll probably build one. My plan is to try to do more slabs in the future, so I didn't hesitate to make the investment with the saw and the guide bar. Once I've done this ones, I'd like to try to find some other ones to slab. So guys, the saw, you're wondering, did this saw power this 42-inch guide bar? Did it do okay? I know in the specs that it says 36 inches recommended for max. But I kind of looked around at some feedback, and some guys were like, it's no problem with a 42-inch bar. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going for it. And I'll tell you, it will do it with a 42-inch guide bar. You have to take your time. You can't force feed it through the log. Obviously, cutting lengthways through a log, you know, slabbing is a lot of work on this saw. When I pulled this chainsaw out of the box, guys, I didn't tune it at all. I just, you know, it sounded really good. I revved it a few times. I let it idle for a little bit. You know, I just kind of let it do its thing. It didn't stall out. It didn't sound like the idle was too high. The chain wasn't trying to move on its own. So I went with the settings that were already there, and I actually cut all 13 slabs with how the saw came. I did absolutely nothing with the tuning. I kind of feel like I'm at the point where I might want to adjust it a little bit. But this saw overall, give you my feedback. I mean, I've seen some videos on YouTube where guys are like this, that, and the other thing are cheap. I'm not going to say it's cheap. Some things do look like they're a little bit on the more inexpensive side, but let's face it, guys. You bought a chainsaw in the $400 range. That's a 92 cc compared to the steels and whatever else you're into, the Husqvarnas. Those are in the $1,400 range. Don't kid yourself, guys. When you buy these saws, don't act surprised that something seems like, they didn't I don't want to say cut corners, but they did things in the most cost-effective way, right? And that's why we're buying these saws for that money. So again, don't kid yourself. You're buying these saws because some things were done more cost-effectively, I guess I would like to say. I will say, I put the handlebar on here. I just shaking it. I can tell that some of them are a little bit loose. Cutting 13 slabs, guys. I'm going to say each slab, I'll give a rough idea of the slab lengths that I had. I would say they took me, I didn't time it, so don't hold me to it, but I would say it took me roughly 5 to 10 minutes of cutting to get through to each slab. I would burn a tank of gas pretty much. I wouldn't run out of gas, but I would burn just about the whole tank of gas for each slab. So after pretty much all I did after each slab, it wouldn't run out of gas, but I would fill the gas. It was pretty much out, and I top off the bar and chain oil. I will say the switch, the choke, for the choke, and or the I don't know if the proper term is choke, but when you go to start it, you got to hold the handle and push this little lever down. I'll grab the GoPro here in a minute and give you a closer look. And it also does your stopping of the chainsaw. That does feel a little bit on the weaker side, but I haven't had any trouble with it. Slabbing the logs that I've done, guys, produces a ton of dust. And like, I did it on the side of my house, and I kid you not, those garden carts that you can get, I think they're like maybe a 2.5 by 3 foot, maybe 3.5 foot, maybe 4 foot. I filled 3.5 of those garden trailers full of sawdust and all the stuff for me cutting. And there was stuff floating in there. I was completely covered in sawdust. I wore a respirator. I wore safety glasses. It was kind of hard to see because the dust kept floating in my eyes. But this saw did really well. I'm going to tell you the only thing I had trouble with, and it didn't happen until I was about halfway through, is the pull cord here. If you pull it all the way out, it sticks. I was kind of bummed because I was ready to cut a log. I pulled it out, it stuck. It actually, the saw started and the cord was hanging out, so I shut the saw off. I pulled the cover off, I wound it back in. I went to start it again, it did it again. So what I realized I could do is that little screwdriver that comes in your kit, I could stick it through the holes, and I'll show you this side cover, the holes, and I could just push it, and if I turned it like a quarter turn, it would wound back up. And my guess is there's so much dust that's floated inside of there that it's probably got it caked up a little bit in there. So what I started doing for the rest of the time is I didn't fix it. I started just giving it, not a full pull, but a half a pull. And I can start this saw on a half a pull. You hit the switch on the top for the compression switch. I forget the proper term for it, the decompression switch. You hit that and pull it. Make sure as you're trying to start it and pull it, guys, that may pop, so keep your eye on it and push it every time you pull the pull start. So far, I've had zero complaints about this saw, guys. I'm pretty impressed for a saw that costs around 400 bucks. I think they're a little bit difficult to get your hands on right now. I'm trying to think what else I can inform you guys. Again, I'm running a 42-inch bar, 135 drive link, ripping chain. I've had no issues. The tensioner for the guide bar is a little bit finicky, and I don't want to say anything negative about it because I do have a 42-inch bar on here, and it's heavy. This whole saw together, this guide bar is really heavy on its own, and I think this chainsaw weighs about 20 pounds roughly. So it's a lot to carry around. But like I said, I'm putting it in a milling attachment that attaches to the guide bar. No issues, guys. I'm really going to put it to a test this weekend. I'm planning on getting some help. It's a lot of saw to handle by yourself. My brother's going to come over, and hopefully he's going to help me walk the other side through, and I'll run the power head. I'm not disappointed in the saw, guys. I'm actually really impressed. It had plenty of power. You got to hold on to it. I mean, when it bites in that log, it pulls. I'm kind of throwing around the idea of possibly doing a muffler mod. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm not a big chainsaw running guy, and I won't be running this a ton. So it seems kind of silly. The only reason I really want to do it is because I think it would sound really cool. It sounds awesome already. But, you know, I've seen a little bit of videos on the bark boxes and this and that and the other thing. And I probably won't do anything, but we'll see how bored I get. I kind of want to leave the saw right now the way it is. And I don't want to do any tremendous modifications. That would probably be the only thing I would do to this. But it wouldn't be to improve anything in what I'm doing. I'm not, you know, it's not bogging down. Taking into consideration the bar I'm using, I mean, it will bog down, but this is a big bar, and that's a lot of chain. My guess is, you know, with a 20-inch guide bar, or even a 24, this chainsaw is just, it's not going to stop. I mean, it's just going to pound the snot out of those logs. So whatever, let me grab the GoPro, guys, and I mean the chain brake, it all works good. I'll grab the GoPro and I'll show you a couple things. I have zero complaints, really. Probably the only thing that I'm going to tweak a little bit cutting the big log this weekend is I'm probably going to tweak the gas and oil mixture a little bit. I'm probably going to go just a smooch heavier on the oil. And I don't want to get crazy with it. I just want to get the saw as much of a break. It's a lot of work on a saw, just doing slabs. And I want to give it that extra little bit of, you know, help in the cylinder with the oil. I like to try to take care of this saw, guys. I've had you know, Craftsman saws in the past where they just haven't lasted, and I want to do my best. I'm going to clean this saw up. Like I said, I sharpened the blade. I'm going to flip the guide bar. You know, I want to do my best to take care of it. I think it'll be a good saw, a long-term saw. Maybe down the road I'll do an update video. I don't know if that'll do you guys justice or not, because like I said, I'm not using this every day, all day, every weekend. But I can, you know, in a little while I'll give another feedback video if it seems like I've used it a ton. If it doesn't make sense, I probably won't do it. There was one other thing I thought of. Hopefully I'm helping you guys out make a decision. If you're on the fence about it, like, I don't know if this is for me, I don't know if that's really gonna last, guys, don't hesitate. It's 400 bucks. Let's stop kidding yourself. If you're considering this, you really don't want to spend the money on a steel or a Husqvarna anyways. This is gonna do it for you. This is gonna do your big cutting. If you do a lot of cutting and you're considering this, again, you're watching this video because you don't want to pay the big money, you know, and you want to see what the feedback is on it. It's as simple as that, really. I'm gonna imagine most guys that do this for a profession or use it more than I will, they probably won't use this saw every day. Just save it for the big stuff, and then they'll have a smaller saw for all the normal cutting. Would be my assumption. I don't know why you would want to carry around a big saw, but it can be done, you know, if you've got arm enough. So let me come around and grab the GoPro, guys. I'll try to think of anything else about the saw. I really had zero trouble other than, you know, like I said, the pull cord, which is probably a little bit my fault, you know, for all the dust and what I was doing to it. You know, it probably just all fell in there. I did have this side up, so all the dust was probably settling in there. So let me just focus in here. Of course, it's all dusty. So this is the switch I'm talking about, guys, right there. And it does feel a little bit on the inexpensive side. I saw somebody else on the video comment about the switch, how it felt cheap. You know, I'm just not feeling that way. Maybe the safety mechanism feels a little bit on the, you know, the cheaper side, but I'm just not getting that feel out of it, guys. So here is where the pull cord is, and like I said, I just stuck a screwdriver in there and pushed it back when it got stuck. But I was doing half pulls, and that was starting the saw. I've had no trouble doing it like that. I do want to clean it up and get it to work right, though. If I do pull the cord all the way out, I like it to wind back up properly. There is nice. I don't get a lot of vibration in the handle, if anybody's wondering about that. It was actually super comfortable. You can see the flex in the head right here. Hopefully you can. But there's enough cushion there where it really takes, you know, my hands don't hurt. I don't have the vibration feel in my hands afterwards. It was really, really good. I'm sure my air filter's full of dust. I'm going to clean that out. There's the decompression switch in the top. Front of the saw, it's dirty as shit. You can see where my my milling attachment was attached to this guide bar. My milling attachment is 48 inch. It's an 18 to 48 inch. I know they make a couple different sizes. But yeah, guys, this is it. I'm super stoked that this worked out. I was kind of bummed out when I tried the other saw. I don't know why, because I totally expected it not to go well. This has worked out really well for me. Like I said, what's really cool, actually, before I end this video, so the tension to guide bar in the center here, that's where the tensioner is, which is really cool. Like I said, this one feels a little finicky to me, and I'm not gonna act like it's a downfall of the saw, because I really truly think it's this guide bar. Just being so big, so heavy, I think that's what's causing it to have its little bit of issue. But I wouldn't even say that's a negative at this point. I'd like to put a smaller bar on there, which eventually I'm going to get a smaller bar just to have if I ever have anything else I want to cut. Obviously, I'm not going to pull this saw out with a 42-inch bar on it if I had something else to cut. I think I'd like to have like a 24. It'd even be cool to have a 36 to have another larger bar option, but we'll see. I know these guys, Farmertec and Holzfforma, have options as far as guide bars and chains, and maybe I'll look into that and see what they have. When you get into the bigger bars like these, it's, I don't know, it only seems like a few name brands out there. There was Forester and Oregon. But anyways, here's your adjustment, guys, when you want to adjust your idle, high and low. It's a good idea to watch. I'm no expert on that. It's a good idea to watch a video. There's a lot of great videos out there for adjusting those. Again, I'm not going to adjust it at this point. Maybe a little tweak, but we'll see how it goes this weekend when I fire this baby up. But guys, super happy with the saw. Thanks for watching my video. It's a great saw. Holzfforma G660. Paid around $400 for it. This video is getting a little bit long. I didn't want it long. The only other thing I will say, what was cool about reading like some of the reviews on these saws, is apparently the MS660. I can't deny nor confirm that it's true, but apparently these parts are somewhat interchangeable. You know, if you didn't want to try to source these parts from wherever they would come from, or, you know, overseas, wherever it may be, it sounds like you can buy the MS660 parts to put on here rather than buying some from this company. I don't know if that's a good idea, but it sounds like it is an option. Again, I can't confirm nor deny that claim because I have not needed any parts. Guys, good saw. If you're on the fence about it, just pull the trigger and do it. I'm going to do it's too dark out tonight, but I'm going to do a little pass through on my slabs that I've done so you guys can see what I'm talking about with my slabs. And then other than that, I'm just going to, I'll end the video and that'll be it. It's gotten long enough. Guys, I truly appreciate you watching. I'll do the slab video tomorrow morning, probably before I go to work, if the weather's nice. And then I'll be putting this up. Hey guys, till tomorrow. Peace. Alright guys, as promised, I'm going to try to keep my voice down. It's 6 in the morning. But here's the remnants of one other piece of this. I'm going to make that into a bench. This one here's the other portion of the tree that I'm going to slab. I don't know, I might make that into a bench too. We'll see. And then this here is the log I have left to mill down, slab out, whatever you want to call it. Try to be quiet so my dogs don't go nuts. But here's a couple of slabs.
appreciate you taking the time to watch it and see what I'm doing. There's more to come. Gotta lock my gate up. There's more to come with this piece of the log. Thanks for watching. Like and share my video, guys. Have a good day out there.